thing as the members of the board realized the extent of their betrayal. The mayor's carefully constructed empire crumbled before his eyes. "You betrayed me," he seethed, turning to his wife. She met his gaze with a serene, victorious smile. "Such is life, darling." The collective voice of the board sealed his fate. What she said, "I will see you tomorrow morning at Station House, for by then, young friend." The following morning dawned bright and full of promise. The sun shone warmly on the familiar brick facade of Station House 4, a symbol of resilience, justice, and enduring power of community. The station was once again bustling with activity, filled with the cheerful voices of officers who had been rightfully restored to their duties. Inside, the brilliant eccentricities of the team were back on full display. "There you are, Emily. Thank you for getting our jobs back," Watts murmured affectionately, carefully placing his beloved Fern in a sunlit window. "It is nice to get out of house, so you can go back to sitting around here all day." Another officer teased gently. "Better than sitting at home." "Sir, the board voted unanimously for Vaughn to be removed from office last night. We have all been reinstated, including Mrs. Crabtree." The air was thick with triumph and profound sense of relief. What was Vaughn's reaction? He volunteered to step down. "Where is he now?" "He left town last night. He went home straight from the council meeting. Was out the door in minutes." "Any idea where he went?" "Not a clue, but he is out of our hair, and that is all that matters." Despite the joyous victory, Detective Murdoch's unwavering dedication to absolute justice remained steadfast. His moral compass, true as a northern star, pointed toward the work still to be done. "But, sir, Vaughn is responsible for several crimes, and one day he will be brought to justice." His superior officer placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder, a gesture of profound respect and camaraderie. "But until then, just sit back and enjoy the moment, my old friend. You are back." "Oh, Higgins." "Sir." "Put the kettle on." "Sorry." The joyous spirit of the team could not be contained within the walls of the station house. It was time to celebrate their hard-won victory, to raise a glass to friendship, perseverance, and the unyielding light of truth. "Right then, lads, now that you are all settled in, we are off to the Starbright, and I am buying the beverages." The cheerful invitation was met with enthusiastic agreement from most, but the brilliant detective had other plans. His mind was already turning toward the next mystery, the next opportunity to serve and protect. "Well, that is very kind, sir, but I believe I will stay here and settle in. There is much work to be done." His superior chuckled warmly, understanding the unique drive that made Murdoch such an exceptional investigator. "I will drink for the both of us. Albert Joy, a man after my own heart. Oh, Higgins, are you coming or not?" "Coming, sir." As his colleagues departed for an evening of well-deserved celebration, Detective William Murdoch sat at his desk, surrounded by the comforting hum of the reinstated station house. The city of Toronto was safe once more, its integrity restored by the tireless efforts of a dedicated few. With a heart full of hope and a mind sharp with purpose, Murdoch opened his notebook, ready to face whatever mysteries the future held, secure in the knowledge that justice, guided by compassion and unwavering truth, would always prevail. The cool autumn wind swept through the bustling streets of Toronto, carrying with it a sense of anticipation that seemed to settle over the city like a fine mist. The evening was calm, yet beneath the surface, a quiet storm was brewing. Shadows stretched across the cobblestone alleys as two figures stood in a tense standoff, their silhouettes illuminated by the flickering glow of a nearby street lamp. "You busted Petrucci out?" The voice echoed in the narrow space, thick with a mix of betrayal and disbelief. "Why?" "Petrucci harmed my family 3 years ago. It is time for accountability. Come with me if you want to see tomorrow. Go get him. You want to take down Vaughn Colangelo? You have to do it on your own." Suddenly, the authoritative march of leather boots on stone interrupted the exchange. "Toronto Constabulary," a firm voice called out from the darkness. Keep your hands where we can see them, gentlemen. Detective, even you must admit the community in this city is not well protected by the police. One of the men argued, his posture defensive yet weary. I am sure you are right, but taking justice into your own hands is not the answer. The detective replied, his tone steady and calming. I am here to protect you. Meanwhile, in a brighter part of the city, a quiet conversation was unfolding regarding a certain bright and ambitious woman. I fear Miss Hart has gotten herself mixed up in something she cannot handle. A gentle voice murmured over a cup of warm tea. People trust you, a supportive friend replied, offering a reassuring smile. They will pay attention if you show them you are not scared. However, a shadow soon fell over the local police force. The news arrived like a cold winter draft. Station House 4 and its dedicated staff have been declared redundant. You as well, Mrs. Crabtree. The room fell silent, the weight of the announcement pressing heavily on the hearts of the officers who had dedicated their lives to the pursuit of truth. But one brave soul refused to accept this defeat. This is not over. Vaughn, a voice whispered in the quiet halls. I think it very much is, came the cold, dismissive reply of Mayor Chadwick Vaughn, a man whose ambition often clouded his morality. 3 individuals found in a few days, male, early 40s. There are already 2 resting in the storage. Squeeze him in. Deal with him in the morning, despite the formal closure of his station. The brilliant detective William Murdoch could not simply abandon his calling. The pursuit of truth was woven into his very being. The next day, he found himself walking the familiar halls of the city morgue. You can go home now, Detective Murdoch, Miss Hart said, her voice a mixture of surprise and concern. What are you doing here? Retirement or not, it is becoming increasingly difficult to avoid places of investigation. Murdoch replied with a gentle, self-deprecating smile. Especially one so close to home. What happened? A peculiar case was delivered last evening, Miss Hart explained, guiding him toward the examination area. Unfortunately, I only took a cursory look. Male, mid-40s. I believe whatever caused this peculiar incident was hidden ingeniously, albeit strangely. Good heavens, Murdoch breathed, his brilliant mind already racing to the possibilities. But I do not understand the motivation. Could someone be wishing you harm? If they were, they would not do it here, she reasoned calmly. Well, I guess this would be the most obscure way of hiding the truth. Not yours, but whoever was brought in. I suppose the fact that you are still here means the Board of Control has no objection to your neighborhood safety program? Murdoch asked, changing the subject to lighter, more positive matters. To the contrary, Miss Hart smiled proudly. They and I applaud the initiatives. Neighbors caring for neighbors. The very definition of good governance is to keep unnecessary bureaucracy out of people's daily lives. A smooth voice interrupted. Mayor Vaughn stepped into the room, his charming facade firmly in place. What a horrendous incident. I am truly glad you are unharmed, Miss Hart. Thank you. And you, Mr. Murdoch. What brings you here? I would have thought you would be off somewhere enjoying your retirement. Miss Hart, maintaining her professional composure, addressed the mayor. The current condition of the other individuals that were in the cold storage is largely compromised. I am afraid. Well, then I suppose that means their mysteries remain unsolved, Vaughn said with a hint of satisfaction. A mystery the active members of the Toronto Constabulary will soon put to rest. Good day, Mr. Murdoch. Were you at least able to ascertain their identities? Murdoch asked, ignoring the mayor's dismissal. I said good day, Mr. Murdoch, Vaughn repeated, his tone sharpening. This facility is city property, and you are not welcome. As the mayor turned to leave, Mrs. Crabtree rushed in, holding a thick paper folder. The file, she said breathlessly. Thank you. Murdoch nodded graciously. I cannot be here long. I have to return before they know this. Yes. Here. Thank you, Sarah. Murdoch sighed softly. Neither Mr. Colangelo nor Mr. Petruccia's associates taken into custody are facing charges. They have all been dropped. Where are they now? Are they being held somewhere? Sarah asked,